Hi, Jason back here again to help you with your map. And let's go on to do a little bit more um, on the map of North Attleborough. I think that the next thing we're going to do is add another symbol to the map key. So let's look at we've already got the state boundary and the town boundary. Now I would like to, if you look on your map, you have these double lines right here. Let me just draw that in the map key. Go ahead and draw a double line like this on your map key. And underneath that we can write, it's a type of road, and it's the largest type of road that we have, and it's called a highway. And there are actually two interstate highways that run through your town. One kind of a north to south, and the other one that goes east to west. These two highways have numbers, and you can probably guess one of them is 95. You can go ahead and put a 95 in that one. And do you know what this one is? This is not 95, but 295. Okay, if you want to color the top of the shield in, it's kind of fun to do that. You can use any color. But don't color over the number. And let's pick a color for the highway too. Something, it could be a dark color or a brighter color. Maybe I'll go with like a, maybe like an orange, kind of a brighter color. First things first, do the one in the key. Let's choose the color and use it in the key. This will let people know what. Now you don't have to use orange. If you just, the only one I wouldn't use is blue. Don't use blue for the highway because it might end up looking like a body of water, like a river. Okay, you don't want people to think it's a river. Okay, so choose either a bright color, or you could use a dark color like brown or red if you want, or black. Okay, but whichever color you choose, do it in the key first, and then you can go over to the map and color it in on the map. Okay, there's one highway. I'll do the second one. I've got to use the same color for that symbol. Okay. Well, while you're working on that, I might work on my border a little bit. So try to get those two highways colored in. Little by little, I'll work on the border while you guys are catching up. Okay, now let's go to the next size road. Now, we can't put every single road and street on the map because there are hundreds of streets throughout the town, but we can put some of the bigger roads. And I think I'll use I'll give you a choice of 3 colors for the roads, black, brown, or red. Okay, I think I'll go with a black. And it's going to be a simple symbol, just a single line like this. Don't have to make it too thick. Just like that. and we will call it a main road. Okay, now let's put 6 or 7 main roads on the map. You don't want to go too much more than that. You could always add more later if you want, but I'll try to keep it to about a half dozen main roads. And the first one is a road that you're all familiar with, Route 1. Okay, I want you to put a little dot next to the shield, just like that. Okay, that's going to help you locate this road. And do you see where the boundary changes direction? Put your finger right there. That's where we're going to start our first road. I'm going to start right there, and I'm going to aim for the dot. Okay, so go ahead and try to sketch that in all the way to the dot. Okay, then you can continue it a little further down. Put a little, put a number 1 with a circle around it. That's going to represent Route 1. And of course the road does continue into Plainville and Attleborough a little bit. Make that into a number 1. Okay. Now this road is called, we should label it as we go. This road becomes Washington Street. I'm sure you're all familiar with Washington Street. North Washington Street, South Washington Street, but we'll just call it Washington Street. Probably named after the first president. Okay. All right, so there's one road. Now, the second one, it shares the name Washington Street. It's called East Washington Street, so it's east of Washington Street, and it kind of forms like a bow, almost like looks like kind of like a bow and arrow. So I'm going to start right about here and bring it out a little ways, and then bring it up and then back again. So it's kind of got that curved shape to it. Okay, don't go too far out. You don't want to go way out here. It's about 1.5 inches or so. All right, and that, like I said, is called East Washington Street. Watch how I make my letters follow the curve of the road. East Washington Street. Okay, so go ahead and work on that. I'll give you a couple seconds to catch up on that. Little by little, I'm going to be coloring in my border. Okay, so that's 2 roads. Hopefully you've got those 2 roads on there. Now let's jump over to the other side of town, more on the eastern side, and sticking with that same color black, I'm going to draw another main road in. It's going to start up here in Plainville, and it's going to cross the highway, and then it's going to run parallel. It's going to kind of run parallel to Route 95. About 3/4 of the way down, you can put a number for the route number, 152, and you can put a little circle around it. 152. Oh, by the way, over here on Route 1, Route 1 comes over to form East Washington Street. I believe Washington Street is called 1A. We won't have to put that in there, but just so you know, this is the route number for this road, the 152, also known as, you've probably heard of this road, Kelly Boulevard. Now it's not K-E-L-L-Y, it's E-Y. And Boulevard, you can abbreviate Boulevard B-L-V-D. Notice how I'm trying to make my letters as neat as possible too. Okay, it wouldn't be good if I wrote Kelly in my everyday writing. You have to form your letters very slowly and neatly. You can see the difference. It's almost like you're drawing the letters. Okay, don't scribble them. You know, don't. This is your everyday writing. Maybe you have to be a little bit neater when you label things on your map. Okay. So there's our third road. I'll give you a chance to catch up a little bit. Okay, are you ready for the next road? The next road is pretty easy to locate. It's going to connect Kelly over to these first two roads that we did. So it's going to kind of go like this. You're going to start right about here. It's going to come down. And then about halfway down, it's going to shoot across. And it's going to kind of divide that East Washington Street in half. Kind of just like that. So you can see it kind of almost divides this little section in half. And you've probably heard of this road. The high school is located on that road. It's begins with an L. I'll use my regular pencil to write it. L-A-N-D-R-Y Avenue, Landry Avenue. Okay, and I believe the high school is located along that road. Another school up here too. Okay, all right, so there's 3 roads. Take your time, get that road drawn in. Okay, I'll probably do a smaller road next. I don't know if you know where the YMCA is located. I believe it's on this next road. It's called Elmwood Street. And Elmwood Street is not too hard to locate. Okay. It's kind of like forms like a little triangle. You can kind of start out with this part of it anyway. And then it kind of, from here it goes up like this and up into Plainville. That's a pretty short compared to the other ones. But that is called Elmwood Street. Now the reason I wanted to get Elmwood Street on there is because the next road is going to start on Elmwood Street. So make sure you get this one on here so we can do the next one, which is probably the longest road in North Attleborough, I think. It's called Mount Hope Street. I bet you've heard of that road before. And the easiest way to draw this is to kind of find the midway point between the Highway 95 and East Washington Street. I like to try to estimate the middle. I'd say right about here. So I'll put a little dot right there. And you'll see how that helps me. The road's gonna run right through that dot. It's gonna start over here on Elmwood, and then it kind of comes over and right down, crosses Landry, and it goes right to that little dot right in the middle. And then it comes down to the highway, goes under the highway. It kind of does an unexpected turn at this point. It kind of veers over like this. Okay, so once again, let's follow that road. It's from Elmwood Street, right across Landry, down to 295, and then over a little bit like that. That road was called Mount Hope Street. You can abbreviate Mount MT period, and then Hope, HOPE, and then Street, ST. Let's see how many roads. Let's count the roads so far. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Maybe one more. Let's do one more. One last one. I'll let you work on Mount Hope Street for a few minutes, or another minute or so. Let me do a little bit more on my border. You can work on your border later on. You don't have to do it right now. Okay, let's do that last road, and that should finish it up for the roads. It's actually right at this intersection. There's a road that goes in this direction too, and it kind of goes over like this. I think it's called Hoppin Hill Road or Street, and then it might change names. It becomes a different road, but I believe it's all Route 120. So if you want to put a route number for this road, it goes right into Cumberland like that. Okay, that's pretty good. It's quite a few roads we've added to the map right now, and highways. So that's probably a good point to stop right now, and we can just make sure we've got all that information on there, and then in the next video we'll add a little bit more. Okay, thanks.